The basis of a rain stick has legumes inside. They use small stones. They also use a cactus that has spines going through it. That's what you'll be using to make your rain stick, and to also make your shakers from stuff like Pringles cans or any kind of, you can do it with lots of things. Your paper is already in here. So now, before we would have done this, it would be good to take the paper out. I'm not going to do it. And flatten it out on the table, because it's going to be, it will start to take this shape if you don't do it. And I'll be talking about that and some other things. You also have two ends here. You don't want to do anything with them yet. Just, they're in the box. There's one here. This is what will look like eventually in the end. The other thing is, you'll need glue or tape later on. Glue will work. You're going to want to glue these in so that it doesn't come apart and have those beans fall over the floor in your mom's or aunt's house or wherever you are, or outside. You don't want to lose them. So the first thing, you're also going to have crayons. You'll have crayons. You're going to need a ruler or a straight edge. So here's a folder. You can use a book. You can actually use your crayon box. Anything that's got a straight section to it can be used. So you're going to have instructions online. So basically what we're going to do is show you how we would wrap this around the tube right now. And we're going to work on a few designs. Hannah and I will here. You're going to get something online that gives you instructions, and you don't have to worry about reading this. And it's also going to give you some samples from a project that I've done in the past. So you'll notice when we look at these samples, this is kente cloth. You can also look that up. You can take some more pictures, like have on your phone, or you can print them out or look at them. If you can go to the library. There's printers at the library. So basically, Africa, as you'll see behind us, is a kente cloth. So you'll notice in this, there are different designs. There's dots here, so you can do lots of different things. And you only don't have to just use crayons. I've just furnished crayons because it's the easiest thing to send. You can use magic markers. You can use colored pencils. You can use paint if you have paint at home and you do the painting. So let's talk about the first thing you're going to do is roll this paper around. Hannah's going to roll the paper. I'm doing the same thing here. I rolled my paper around. I'd already done this. You're going to roll your paper around like this. And then you're going to mark. Mine already has a line on it. You'll see the line if I put it up fairly close. So she's marking her line on the tube. I'll put my tube down here. Basically, when she unrolls this and she draws a line across, she's going to use a ruler, and maybe she'll use a ruler. What the ruler is going to do is allow her to draw a straight line across. I already have a line on mine, and my area is about 7 inches. So what you could do is you could make this exactly 7 inches and have, that's what I'll do on mine, and have your design go past what's covered. That way, if you're thinking like I think, which is like a scientist, because that's one of my degrees besides music, I'll be able to divide this up in increments of an even amount. All right, once you have those lines, then you're going to make a decision. Do I want to have zigzags, triangles? Do I want to have straight lines? Do I want to have, in which direction? I'm going to go up and down in my section here, which is right here. You can see I've got a line there. You should be able to see that. So Hannah's doing hers. So whilst Hannah's drawing her lines, Hannah's going to take a line across the whole paper. What I did is I divided the increments across my whole sheet of paper. It was 12. Basically, it was about 17 inches. So one trick you could do is if you divide 17 into fourths, that's not that easy, but if you can, you're going to have about four. I would have 4 sections. So the next thing I would do in mine is make a different section. I've got it going up and down, and then I would go a different direction. So Hannah's drawing her lines straight across, and she's going to have, I don't know how many lines. You can have whatever you want. She's having 2 lines now. So what I did is I measured over 4 inches, and then I'll go ahead and show you. Then I went down and I put an inch in here. So I'm going to go ahead and do something that's, I'll do another inch across. So mine was about 7 inches going down. I drew a line, and I'll show you. So I drew another line that went straight down like that. Okay? Now I'm going to put triangles in there. Okay? So the trick to triangles is you either have to one thing you can do is take 2 of these inch lines. I'll show you here. I'm going to go over here and I'm going to put another thing in the middle of this. This is 2 inches, and I'm going to draw a triangle. You don't have to do the math, but this is an easy way to do the math. So you'll notice that once I did that, I went ahead and drew a line there. I also take a picture of this and put it online. So then I went for the next triangle. I went on the bottom side. I measured over another 2 inches, so let's go with that. It's 2 inches. And I did the same thing. I made another triangle. And you'll see once we get a little bit of color on this. You don't have to do the measuring. And if your last triangle is different than your first triangle, it's fine. My triangle is going to run out with my design because it's an uneven measurement. So I'm just going to kind of let this design kind of like dissolve into Never Never Land. So now I have, if I pull this up, if I can get this in the right place here. There it is. I have those triangles. All right. So now I'm going to color in the triangles. And I'm going to use probably, they use a lot of colors. I'm going to use crayons. Yellow is kind of, so I'm going to go ahead and color one of my triangles yellow. On one side, and I'll choose another color. You really can't see me doing this, but I'm coloring in here. And I'm going to take a picture of this. So I'm also going to write on mine the measurements so you can see something here. So basically, I went down. This one distance here was an inch. And I'll take a picture of this so you can see it. These marks what I did is I drew the first one I did was 1.5 inches. Doesn't make a difference what you do, is whatever you choose. Then I did 2 inches. This was 1.5 inches. Then I did 2 inches here, 2 inches here, and then the last one here was 1 inch. It doesn't have to be this. Then what I did is I divided in between each of these things halfway through. This would have been 3/4 of an inch. The next one, all these other ones would have been 1 inch. And this is where I am right now. Hannah's doing some circles and triangles. You'll be able to see better when I give you the picture of it. So let me go ahead, and then Hannah will show you what she's doing here. So I'm going to choose another. Hannah, what's a complementary color to yellow? Orange?
Well, orange is next to it on the color wheel.
Okay.
And the color right across from it is purple. But the complementary color for it is blue.
Well, so why don't I go with blue? So I'm asking, Hannah's kind of like an artist? More than
like
kind
an
of.
artist.
Kind of like an artist.
Kind of
So,
like an artist.
and I'm just throwing this in for fun.
I gave you 3 different answers.
So you'll be able to learn about art as you're going along in school. And Hannah's done a lot. Hannah, where do you get a lot of your art stuff from?
What do you mean?
I think she sees stuff. She's looked at YouTube, right?
Yes, I watch art YouTubers.
There's a lot of
they're
artists
great.
describing. She does a lot of stuff with using the iPad, drawing digital things. This is definitely not digital. You could draw this digital,
I could. It would be much easier.
but the other thing you could do is you could do your basic design like I did with a pencil. Then you could scan it in, and then you could make it be a vector. That's some complicated talking there.
That's something in Photoshop.
Yes. So the other thing is, here's what I did right there. And sometimes I can't tell if it's showing or not. I think it is. And Hannah's got some cool stuff. She's got some circles. We're just going to keep going. So what you would, and we'll stay with you a little bit. What you can do is you can go ahead and keep doing some stuff as well. So I'm going to change some things on my other side here. I'll do another area on here. I'm going to go ahead and measure over another 4 inches. So I'll keep my designs going. Instead of the length, Hannah's is the whole length of hers. Mine is like almost every 4 inches. So I'm also, and I looked at mine. For mine to work, I had to change one of my measurements to 4.5. It doesn't make any difference if you do all this math. That's just the way I do stuff. So I'm going to make in my one of these here. I'm going to go ahead and do. I'm going to do some stripes in here. I'm going to do two different stripes. If you use the straight edge, it helps you to keep stuff straight. You don't have to, you can freehand it completely if you want, but that helps you to keep things straight here. So I'm drawing some lines in here. So basically what I have, and I moved over here, and I'm going to show you what, I'm going to take a picture of this and put, since I'm doing this measuring, this is 4.5 inches. These are basically 1 1/8, but you could have just gone 1. If one's different than the other one, you'll be fine. And this was 4 going this way. This also was 4.5. Hannah also was doing some free-form drawing. She'll do some of that in a minute, but you can kind of see what I'm doing here. I'll get her to hold hers up in a minute, and I'll take some pictures of that as well and put up online. What I can do is, as we're talking here, I can put a picture up of what we did and show you that. So I'm trying to think of what I'm doing here. I think I'm just going to do some free-form zigzags. First, I'm going to give mine a background. If you look online, they sell kente cloth on Amazon. So you can look at the designs that they come in. Now the problem with crayons is these particular crayons, you really have to work with your crayon. If you want it to be solid, you almost have to break the crayon, am I right, Hannah? And make a little line like this, cut it there, and then or turn it backwards on the flat end. That's what I'm doing with this. So I'm doing my first one orange. What's the next color I should go with? Green?
Are you doing a rainbow?
Well,
'Cause
sort of.
If you're doing a rainbow, then green would be next.
All right, I'm gonna go with green.
Wait, no. Wait, if you're doing a rainbow, then yellow would be next.
All right, let's go with yellow. I had yellow out. Did it fall?
I know what a rainbow is.
So now I'm gonna do, I guess rainbow is Roy G. Biv, right? Is that what you think, or you don't even know that one?
I know that one, but they put violet at the end, and
I don't think violet is a real color, is it?
magenta technically isn't a real color. I think violet is a real color. Violet is a shade of purple, but I think it's magenta that technically isn't a real color because it's just like a mix.
Yeah, it's a mix. So we're getting an art lesson here. So what's my next color?
Red, orange.
And we were recording, and sometimes when we get recording out here in my studio, we forget that we run out of space. So I was working on this project here, and I kind of did a rainbow color, and you notice I did all kinds of craziness. Earlier I did this, Hannah, and we're going to roll these up. This is Hannah's crazy stuff. She's also drawing other stuff, characters and whatnot. And I'll be doing a whole picture of these so you can see them. So right now we're going to finish up with what I tried to do last time. We're going to take out our Rainsticks and roll this on here so we can get a look at these. So I'm kind of making mine in the center of the Rainstick. It doesn't make any difference what you do. Hannah's going to have one of her whole drawing. I don't have that. So eventually when you do this, you'll be gluing or taping this on. So here's the beginning of my Rainstick here. These are going this way, this was going the long way. And I would have filled this whole thing up. Much easier to do this not on the round. Here's Hannah's right here. If you did the other drawings, we could put her other drawings featuring on here. Just be random drawings.
But then again, why would you want that on a Rainstick?
It doesn't make any difference what you do. So you can just do anything. I mean, you could draw chickens running, whatever. It doesn't make any difference.
Oh no, I want to see someone draw chickens
So
all over the
we'll be taking some pictures of what we've done. Hannah did a lot more than I did because I was using rulers. She was just using her artistic
My
eye.
artistic ability.
So we'll see you, and we'll set up just like this in a Zoom, and we'll be going along. You can ask us questions. This will work in Zoom. The drumming doesn't work well in Zoom. So we'll see you again. This will probably be aired the second week. This will be online, and you'll have links to all these videos so you can look at this and do this at any time. The beauty of this, you're not going to a camp and then go home. You have to look at us again, which might get old. But we'll see you later. And we hope to be able to come down there and see your rain sticks. I'd like to get some pictures of them anyway. So we'll talk to you later. We'll see you in the Zoom meeting.